Mm. You see anything? Okay.
There. Yeah.
Welcome everybody. It's Betsy and Stacy here, and we are going to dive into how to balance meals properly. I feel like for women who are over 40, okay, when I say that, I feel like it's harder, okay? It's especially the balance of the meals is way more critical for us. So I think it's a great topic. I'm excited to dive into it because it's just such like beautiful common sense to me that I'm and Stacy that we're excited to give you real examples. Um, Also, I'll say it now, I'll say it later. If you type in recipe, then we are going to provide you with a sample recipe that is just one of my favorite breakfasts that is balanced. You'll notice when you eat something like this, it will fuel you for a good 3 hours and it'll kickstart your day with energy. And so if you continue on that, you have balanced meals and snacks throughout the day, you will realize that you will feel so different. Your energy will be way more stable. You won't have cravings. Someone just said to me, and if they say to me all the time as our clients, they're like, I always eat after dinner. I have cravings and I have snacks after dinner. And they're like, all I did was just follow your plan. And when I say follow your plan, like on my website, we do have a 3-day a plan there to reset your metabolism and to calm down cravings. They're like, I just followed that and I did not have cravings. And I'm like,
Yeah. People think that it's a habit.
yeah.
They're like, well, I just go for it's I think it's a habit now. It could partially be that, but I honestly think that like if you're just not hungry afterward, like if you fuel your body through the whole day, you won't have that little trigger to form that habit and
Mhm.
reinforce it. So that happens a lot of times when I'm talking to people on calls and stuff. They're like, it's just a habit. And I'm like, I don't know that it is just a habit.
Yeah. It's a habit now, but
Yeah,
it's caused
yeah,
by something.
yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, just the example I like to use is that dinner, like, I feel like people put love into dinner. They're just like, oh, yes, I have my protein. I have a salad or veggies. And if you're not doing more of a keto kind of way of eating, you're like, oh, and, I had some rice or sweet potato or, like pasta or whatever, where I made it into a balanced meal. And so people put thought into that. But do people put thought into their breakfast that same way? Do they put it into their snacks? Like snacks in particular, I feel like are
I feel like no. And I feel like too, if people are counting macros, they use their snacks to catch up on something.
Mhm.
Right. So if you're looking at the totality of your whole day of macros, right, you're trying to like, you've assigned yourself or somebody else has assigned you a set macro count and you're trying to meet it for the day. And you're like, oh man, I'm really down on carbs. And so you just like eat a banana. Or like, oh man, I'm really down on protein. And then you just are sitting there eating like
String
chicken
cheese.
breast and a hard-boiled egg or something like that. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
you're trying to like catch up for the day if you're doing something like that. Or if it's just a convenience thing, right? So you're
Yeah.
hungry and there are the M&Ms or the gummy bears or the chocolate chips or whatever. Something's there.
Exactly. And just, I mean, I love always doing these talks with you, Stace, because you just bring like everyone's thoughts into it, where I'm like, oh, yes, I totally forgot
Because
about
I have
that.
everybody's thoughts going through my head at every single moment of every
You do.
single day.
You're really good at
Because
that.
it's the blessing and curse of having ADD where I'm like, oh no, this, that, the other.
Yeah. No, I will take it. And just working with an endocrinologist for so long, it just became just obvious that that whole day's worth and like calculating your day's worth of macros is not an answer. It has to be about steadying your blood sugar through the day and your hormones by the balance of each meal, each snack. Every time you eat, if it's balanced, that'll make you feel good because your blood sugar is stable, and that'll make you like not crave anything, and it'll keep you alert. It would like stop that 3 p.m. slump or 4 p.m. slump that happens. Or for a lot of people, it's just like they just don't eat a lot in the beginning, and then it's all at the end of their day, and then their sleep's off and they're waking up at 3 a.m. then. And then they wake up tired. So it's like there's just cycles for a lot of people, and they don't understand that balance is a huge part of that. So I'm excited to dive in. I want to throw out the question of why is it more important for women over 40? Because that's who we tend to help more than anybody else.
Are
And
you, is that rhetorical and you're going to answer it? Are you asking me or are we
go for
asking?
it, Stace.
Are
Uh-huh.
we asking the interwebs?
I know.
Interwebs, tell us, why is it more important for
I was
people?
actually waiting. I was like, is she gonna? I don't know if she's gonna answer. I'll answer. I don't care. Uh-huh. We both can answer.
Why don't you start and then I'll fill in with my stream of consciousness after that.
Yeah, so women who are over 40 tend to have a shift in hormones. Are when that happens, and so for some people it might be more, their system might be more delicate, closer to like when they're really starting to hit menopause, like perimenopause hits some women like really hard. For other women, it's after the fact of menopause. So wherever it is, it's just our body is shifting. And with the hormones changing, it just means that this kind of equilibrium of like being like healthy and having this rev metabolism is not as stable anymore. So it's going to be way more tricky to stabilize hormones because the blood sugar is directly related to the hormones and the stress and the cortisol. So we have to really be way more cognizant than other people, because if we do the opposite of saying, well, I just want to lose some weight, so I'm going to like do keto or intermittent fasting and just to drop some weight, that actually hurts our metabolism. Where someone under 40 who is like still their metabolism is revved and not as delicate, they can handle it. We can't. Hmm.
Yeah. I almost kind of, this is okay. You ready for the stream of consciousness?
Uh-oh. I'm a little
Uh-oh.
nervous.
No. I was just thinking, okay, so I listened to a podcast the other day and they were it was somebody talking who's done all this research in women's health or whatever. So menopause, like our reproductive system, for some reason, evolutionarily didn't get the message that we're living longer.
Mm,
So
yeah.
a lot of mammals, when like they are able to reproduce their entire lives, right? So for humans, it's not a matter of like, oh, it's shutting down because that's what it's supposed to do. It's just like a latent evolutionary thing where it's like it didn't get the memo that now we live past that, right? So it keeps going. That's just one random thought that I'm having. But the second one is like, I think of it as like reverse puberty when you kind of go, I know it's not exactly the same, but you're kind of like shifting, right, to where you don't have the hormones like you did before. And so would you take a kid and like starve them in the first half of the morning and give them a bunch of coffee and then
Hmm.
and then like sort
Hmm.
of backload all of their food at the end of the day and be like, I don't know why they're not sleeping well. I don't know why they're irritable. I don't know why they're acting
Yeah.
like why
Yeah.
their brain is all foggy, but it's like you kind of like, how would you feed a 10-year-old? And I'm not saying that we're 10-year-olds. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying like if we're kind of shifting our hormones down, like would you feed a 10-year-old the way you feed yourself?
Yep. Hmm.
Like, would you?
No.
I
No.
don't know.
No.
Okay, so those are my two random thoughts where it's like,
No, I'm bottom line is we need to treat ourselves better instead of like a deprivation way of thinking of things, or like just pushing ourselves too hard because we're just like, well, we got to get through this to-do list. And we wear a million hats as women, um and I have so many goals that I want to reach, and just going for it all and pushing and over exercising and is always so busy there. It's the opposite. Once this time frame comes, we have to nurture our metabolism back to life. It's taking a hit for most of us, and so we need to say, how do we reverse this? and treat it really well and fuel our bodies in a way that optimizes the metabolism and restores it versus to always be hurting it and damaging it.
Hmm.
So let's dive in, say it's just to give some people some practical things. Again, just type in recipe in the comments and we'll send you one of my favorite breakfast recipes so you can see what balance looks like. So, I mean, we could go like do a meal or two. I just want to say that quality matters just as much as quantity. Okay, so
Just as much
balance.
as like macros, right? Like, so meaning if you're eating like kind of garbage carbohydrates or like garbage protein or whatever, that could be a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, 100,
Yeah.
it absolutely. And if I were to say, I mean, all foods, we don't want garbage and we want to eat
Right.
cleaner eating, more anti-inflammatory way of eating. But if I were to pick any of the macronutrients, I would pick carbs as the most important as quality and quantity. They're going to be the most tricky. So this is what we do when we work with someone. Like we're gonna get to know you of being like, okay, this person has a lot of stress in their life. Their adrenals are definitely taking a hit. They have an autoimmune issue. Their blood sugar is creeping up, all this stuff. They're this active. Like we will measure how much people need. And what we calculate for our clients are carbs and protein. We keep it super simple with just those two. We don't calculate calories at all because that's just an equation that's meant for someone who is not at this stage. We want to optimize the metabolism and not take away things. So sometimes, and a lot of times, it's more food for people. So carbs and protein are the two most important. And the reasoning is carbs is just so needed for just fuel for this metabolism. If we don't have it and we go long periods of time, 6 hours without a carb, you're going to feel it. Like you're going to have a low later in the day and you will 100% have cravings later on. I'm going to put my money on it. And then protein is just very much needed for hormones in our body, our muscles, just the functioning of our body. Absolutely. So we need those two things. But carbs are the most tricky with calculating. Anyway, let's just go through let's do a breakfast, Stace. Okay.
Okay.
So if we have something for breakfast, let's just pick like the old school oatmeal because oatmeal is like carbs, carbs, carbs. A lot of people have oatmeal, which is carbs, has a little protein, but mostly carbs. People may add fruit to it. They might add some milk to it. They might add some brown sugar to it, some raisins. I don't know. Like it ends up being a lot of carbs, and that's why it might get, a bad rap. So how do we balance something like oatmeal in a better way? And then I'll give it to
Okay. Yes. I
you.
hand it over to you. Okay, so we can add things like flax seeds and nuts and chia seeds. We can add, if you want, like collagen powder or protein powder.
Mhm.
Um, you know, you could add, if you aren't dairy sensitive and you're not eating a ton of dairy the rest of the day, you could add a little bit of like Greek yogurt or something
Yeah,
like that.
perfect examples.
Yeah.
Yes. So now instead we have the oats and then we have, let's just say we added in chia seeds and we added in some walnuts and even just a little collagen. Like now we got a balance into that.
You know what?
So
I'm gonna
mhm,
totally sorry. You know what my husband used to do for our kids is when he would cook their oatmeal, he was put egg whites in them.
yeah.
They had no idea that they were in there.
All right.
So yeah,
All right. I like it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, breakfast one, we talked about the like carb laden, like oatmeal. Yes, your blood sugar is going to go like higher and higher and higher. And then it's just going to go and have a big low later on. So it's just not going to fulfill you for too long. And you're going to have a low in blood sugar. And those ups and downs are going to be like basically showing you like in energy wise. I'm up, I'm down, I'm thinking clearly, I'm not thinking clearly, I have cravings later. It all makes sense because it all goes with your blood sugar. So now when we had this oatmeal and we added the protein with it, now you go up, but you don't go as high and it holds over for a longer period of time. And right when it's about to dip is when you would have a snack. So we're just aiming for that like really steady line of blood sugar through the day. And when you can do that, it really feels good. Like people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have so much energy. And
Yeah.
like,
And don't have to like muscle through things.
yeah,
I feel like a lot of people want to like muscle through stuff, like,
yeah.
and they think that that's normal. And then there's a pride in it too,
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
right?
I hear
The
you.
sense of accomplishment to like muscle through your day, muscle through your cravings, because it's like a sacrifice and it's like a warrior mentality.
They're working it. They're
Yeah.
working hard.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly. So,
Yes,
yeah.
it does not have to be hard, everybody. That's the cool thing. So once you learn how to really balance your meals and snacks, okay, and you eat evenly through the day with these balanced meals and you have a steady blood sugar, fabulous. You will notice a big difference. And I just want to also say, like, we don't count calories, but I don't really count fat too much either. I mean, we utilize our like meal and snack ideas because we have awesome menu planning software. So when we make menu plans and we with our clients and we have these recipes, it's like they always are using good fats. So I don't need to count them. It's just a bonus. Like if you were to have your carbs and you want them to absorb as slowly as possible for that fuel, the protein helps, but healthy fat helps. And then if you also have in vegetables and lots of fiber in there, that helps too. So then it's really like a drip system with your blood sugar. So I hope that sinks in and really has a little bit more clarity for you guys versus, there's so much information out there on keto and going low carbs. And I mean, we don't say go high carbs. It's just having the right amount, quantity and quality for you and what's going on in your body. So you want to make sure it's very personalized for you and not just listen to randomness out there. And we're here to help you guys. We do offer a free consultation. So if you want to like kind of discuss this kind of stuff, we're happy to. And then Stace, I think Kelly just posted some information about you because Stacy's got something interesting to offer that I think you guys want to take her up on.
Sure. So I am trying to sit for the board certification for health and wellness coaches. So I'm already a certified health and wellness coach, but I want to get board certified. And in order to do that, I have to have 50 sessions. And guess what? It takes a long time to get 50
Yeah. You're
sessions.
getting
So
there,
yeah,
but we thought it would be like faster if we just throw it out
yes.
there to everybody
Yes.
instead of
So
just
instead of just offering it to our clients, until I hit my 50, so I think I have 20 to go total. So that's exciting. We're opening it up, and these are just like 15, 20-minute sessions. And basically, what I'll do is I will help you get clarity on how to proceed with like one health thing you want to do. So we can't do everything, right, in 15 to 20 minutes. But what we can do is get clarity on one thing that you want to do, what's getting in your way, why does it matter to you, all those sorts of things. So, and
yeah.
sometimes that's very helpful because sometimes we just repeat something in our head again and again. I need to, I should, I want to, I need, but you don't really know why you want to do it or how to get started or how to go about it. So, getting clarification and getting an action plan, that would be what we would do.
Stacey's awesome with that stuff. So yeah, if you the what we offer for a free consultation is definitely different. It's just more of the like big picture of what you're aiming for and to see if you're a fit for our programs, which to be real, a lot of people are not. But we want to be able to guide you in the right direction of where to go. But Stacey's is more of an actionable kind of thing that's just short and sweet.
Yeah.
So lots of options with us. But we're here to help you guys and everyone have a fabulous day. Take
And
care.
we'll put the link in the comments for help.
Absolutely.
Okay.
For
All
all
right.
of it. Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay.
See you guys.
Bye.